Good morning, students. We proceed with the last part of the story, Princess September. Till the last lecture, we had seen that under the influence of the sisters, Princess September concludes that this bird is not going to stay with her if it is allowed to roam around freely, and she puts it into a cage, and the bird quits on eating and drinking anything, and then one morning when she wakes up, she sees it lying still at the bottom of the cage. Now let's see, what do we get to learn at the end of the story? We begin from page number 42. She opened the door and, putting her hand in, lifted him out. She gave a sob of relief, for she felt that his little heart was beating still. Sob means cry. She was feeling a sort of relief because she had thought at the very sight of it that the bird had died. But when she felt its heartbeat, she was a little bit relieved. wake up, little bird," she said. She began to cry, and her tears fell on the little bird. He opened his eyes and saw that the bars of the cage were no longer around him. "I cannot sing unless I am free, and if I cannot sing, I die," he said. The princess gave a great sob. Sometimes we learn a lesson in our life a very practical way. When people keep telling you, don't do this, don't do that, then we don't heed their words. But when we learn it in a practical way, the effect of it is it's everlasting, and it's a very strong effect on us. So this one learned her lesson in a very, I would say, on a wrong note, but whatever she learned was good. So when she realized her mistake, she started crying. "Then take your freedom," she said. "I shut you in a golden cage because I loved you and wanted to have you all to myself. But I never knew it would kill you. I love you enough to let you be happy in your own way." That's how people have to love other creatures or the fellow human beings. Love can't be binding. Love is to let loose, and if that person or thing is yours, it will come back to you. No, then it was never yours. It was just a myth. She threw open the window and gently placed the little bird on the sill. He shook himself a little. Now, window sill is that extra part of the window where you can keep pots or where you can sit as well. So she kept it over there, and then it shook himself a little while, and then what would it do? It would definitely fly away. "Come and go as you will, little bird," she said. "I will never put you in a cage anymore." "I will come because I love you, little princess," said the bird, "and I will sing you the loveliest songs I know. I shall go far away, but I shall always come back. I shall never forget you." So this is what I just now said. If somebody loves you, they will always be there for you. They would never abandon you. They would never give up on you. So they would stand by your side, and just give them time and give them their space. Don't strangulate this kind of a feeling. So you never force yourself upon anybody. That's how relationships survive. He gave himself another shake. "Good gracious me, how stiff I am," he exclaimed, because he was lying still over there and he had not eaten anything. So all that energy had gone. So he was like, "How stiff I feel." Then he opened his wings and flew right away into the blue. That's the sky. But the little princess burst into tears, for it was very difficult to put the happiness of someone you love before your own, and with her little bird far out of sight, she felt all of a sudden very lonely. A very, very, I would say, an act of valor, courage, strength, when you keep aside what you feel, your priorities, and you just push them aside for somebody whom you love. Most of them in this world can't do this. Like, keep your priorities aside and then give space to the person and give more importance to the person's priorities whom you love. Most of them fail in doing so. For her also it was a very difficult step to take, because to part with the bird means feeling lonely. That was the only state of mind she would be in if the bird would go away. So when the bird flew away, she knew that the parting was different, was from what she had expected, and it was very difficult, but because she loved it and she understood what is the importance of freedom, she allowed it to go. When her sisters knew what had happened, they mocked her. Mocked her means they made fun of her and said that the little bird would never return. But he did at last, and he sat on September's shoulder and ate out of her hand and sang her the beautiful songs he had learned while he was flying up and down the fair places of the world. This bird's songs were based on his experiences of his travel. So wherever he would go, he would come back and sing of that particular experience in the form of a song to her, proving the sisters wrong. September kept her window open day and night so that the little bird might come into her room whenever he felt inclined. And this was very good for her. So she grew extremely beautiful. It is always said, when you're happy, you look beautiful, and when you're sad, you look ugly. So a continuous state of happiness would definitely make you beautiful, and a continuous state of sadness, frowning, anger would bring wrinkles on your face, and then it would make you look ugly. So it's not far from guessing that who would look beautiful and who would look ugly. So Princess September grew up to be a very beautiful princess. And when she was old enough, she married the king of Cambodia and was carried on a white elephant all the way to the city in which the king lived. So that was quite a good proposal, and she got married to a king, and with all the lavishness she was living. But her sisters never slept with their windows open. So again, no state of happiness over here. So they grew extremely ugly as well as disagreeable. That means they would argue at the drop of the hat. And when the time came to marry them off, they were given away to the king's counselors with a pound of tea and a Siamese cat. So that was the only thing they got in from as ancestral property from their father. That they were married off to the counselors, because the counselors couldn't say no to the king. They always used to say yes and yes and yes, go on saying yes and yes. So they would agree even to disagree over there. And then here they were given away where one person got a lot of wealth and these people got only a pound of tea. That's the measure of weight, and they got a Siamese cat. Okay, so this is the moral. The moral is a very beautiful way it has been expressed in the story, that love is not, I would say, a kind of a clutch or a chain which keeps a person whom you love chained along with you, or I would feel suffocated along with you. If you love somebody, you let loose, like you allow them to do whatever they want to do. You direct them, you counsel them, you advise them, and whatever is their thought process, respect them. They would learn if they would fail, and if they wouldn't fail, they would be victorious. Keep that in mind. So love is not a clutch. Don't hold on tightly to the people whom you love, or to the creatures whom you love. Like whomsoever, whichever animal which we like, we put it in the cage and then we enjoy the look of it. But when you take the example of, when you see the point of view of that particular creature or human being, then they don't agree with you. So this is how we need to live our lives. I'll be sending you the notes of this. That's all for this particular lecture. Thank you.